guys, and welcome to my NYX Face Awards makeup tutorial. I created this moonchild look for my entry. So the first thing I did is I went in with a headband and some zip ties, and I created the start of like my flower crown. I then went in with some fake flowers from Kmart and I hot glued them to the top of the headband, just with a bit of cardboard sitting behind it, just to make it a little bit more stable. I also spray painted the flowers and the zip ties black with a little bit of silver spray paint on them as well. And then I hot glued these feathers to the sides of the headpiece. I found these other few extra pieces just in the flower section at Spotlight, and I also hot glued them to the back just to add something in between the zip ties to break it up a bit. And I also found these charms in Spotlight as well. One's a crescent moon and the other one's are little stars, and I dangled them off the front of the flowers and they sat onto my forehead. And here is the finished look of my headpiece. It is actually, I went in with the Angel Veil primer from NYX. This is one of my favourite primers and you can get it from Priceline, so it's super affordable. Next I went in with the ColourPop Cosmetics white concealer to use as my base since I was using quite bold colours. And I went in with this NYX palette and I stuck to mainly the pinks and purples for this look. So here I am just blending out that first shade just to give me a bit of a transition colour. And then I went in with the darkest purple in the palette just to start building up that crease. Here I just went in with another darker purple from a different palette. I think it might have been from the Be Perfect Carnival palette. And now I'm going back in with that white concealer and I'm just cutting about a third into my eye there, as I didn't want a complete full cut crease. And here I am just setting that down with a little bit of a white shimmery powder. And then I'm going in with a little bit more extra purple. Now I'm using the NYX Matte Liquid Eyeliner. This is one of the best eyeliners I think I've ever used. And I'm actually going in with these lashes just from, I think it's NYX Studios from Kmart. I wanted some really out there lashes for this look, and these were actually really, really good for the price. Then I'm going in with a grey face paint and I'm painting this all over my face, as you can see. And I'm blending some of it out with the sponge and the rest I'm using with a brush. Next I'm just going back in with that NYX palette and I'm just doing my under eyes. I just wanted a really smoked out look, and I also went in with a bit of the blue from the palette as well, just to add a little bit more depth to my eyes. Then what I've done is I've just taken a bigger brush and I've gone in with those same purple shades from the palette, and I'm using that to where I would usually contour my face, but I'm obviously doing it quite heavy-handed so that you can really see it, as I wanted this to be really prominent. I didn't want any part of this look to be very structured. I wanted it to be quite messy and really kind of out there. I didn't want it to be like a really structured look. So next I'm actually just going in with some white face paint, and I'm using a stippling sponge, and this is when I'm sort of adding more of the effect of, you know, what you'd see in the galaxy. So like the swirls of white and maybe the dots of, you know, different stars and things like that. Here I am again going in with black face paint, and again doing the same thing, like adding just a few random bits and pieces, things that you'd see out in space. I looked at a lot of different pictures of galaxies or moons and that's where I got most of my inspiration from. Obviously this was a bit of a process, because what I really wanted to do was just build up everything over and over again, and like I said, because I didn't want it to be completely structured, I wanted it to be more of a messy sort of look. Next I'm just going in and using that same grey face paint, and I am painting all over my chest, and here I am drawing in a couple of crescent moons and then also a full moon as well. Next I went in with some black face paint, and this was actually to start outlining so that I could add in the black. I sort of wanted it to look as if it was like bursting on my chest. So I'm trying to be as careful as possible here. Next I just went in with a bit more of that blue shadow from the palette and just shading in around that black. And obviously coffee break. I then went in with the purple again, and the same thing, just started shading that in, as I wanted all those colours to really mix together. And then I started going in with a little bit of a mixture of brown and black eyeshadow, and this was to just add a few little features to the moon so that they looked a little bit more realistic. Then I started going in with a bit of blue shadow, and this was to just give it a little bit of dimension to my neck and collarbones as well. And like I said, I didn't want this to be perfect. I wanted it to look quite rough and messy. Going back in with that white face paint and the stippling sponge, I was adding that all over me. Again, to give that little bit of effect of what you'd see like in a galaxy. What I was just doing there was actually wiping the face paint onto my arm, just so there wasn't too much paint on the stippling sponge, so that it doesn't go on too heavy. Next I'm going in with a liquid eyeshadow from Stila, and this was in a silver, just to add a little bit of extra something. And of course I still highlighted. Then I go in with the NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in the shade Oh Put It On. And here she is, my Moon Child look entry into the NYX Face Awards. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate all of your support, and don't forget to vote on Monday.